Hello everyone, welcome to the Q4 2020 webinar. We are happy to have all of you today with us. The today's speakers will be me, Alona Zoldak, Installed Base Manager, and our pre-sales engineer, Director Nick Luchkov. We will start by quickly going over NAKIVO's growth and milestones and the functionality of NAKIVO Backup and Replication. Then we will turn to our feature highlight, Backup for Office 365, before covering all the newest features in the latest and upcoming versions. Then we give a demo of some of new features to give you a better idea of how we can improve your data protection. And finally, we will update you with the pricing details for edition upgrades and support Uplift and finish with Q&A. Let's try out the chat. Is it your first NAKIVO webinar? Please take a second to answer in the chat. If this is your first NAKIVO webinar, type 1 in the chat. If you've been in the previous webinars, type 2. I see some of you are regular attendees of our events, and for others, this is your first time. For all of you, we've prepared a lot of interesting and relevant information. Stay with us till the end of the webinar and do not hesitate to ask us anything. Nick and I will answer all your questions at the end of the webinar. If we can't answer some questions due to time restrictions, we'll reach out to you later by email or phone. Now let's get started. So first of all, let me share some of the latest news and what NAKIVO has achieved in 2020. In spite of all the difficult global situations this year, NAKIVO's customer base has grown to over 15,000 companies worldwide. The largest of these protect over 8,000 VMs across over 300 global locations. We have over 5,000 channel partners in more than 140 countries, and we collaborate with the world's leading technology companies. Last but not least, featured customers has named NAKIVO the Rising Star in the Disaster Recovery Software category in its 2020 Spring Customer Success Report. We, at NAKIVO, are happy that our software meets the advanced data protection needs of today's companies. Let's proceed to our milestones. We are releasing new features on a quarterly basis since 2012 and by nowadays. We have started with the version 1 with VMware support and installation on Windows, and our latest version 10.1 with the Office 365 OneDrive and HP Catalyst integration. Our software is used worldwide, in North America and South America, Europe, Asia, a few African countries, Australia, and New Zealand. NAKIVO's global annual revenue has increased by 30% in 2020 when compared to 2019. The level of satisfaction with the customer service is now 98%, and we are working hard to reach 100%. Specifically, our customer support service is now available 20 hours per day and 7 days per week all year round. Your data protection industry is constantly changing, and we are all at NAKIVO continue to learn new things and develop professionally to stay aware of the latest trends. Our strategy is to always keep moving forward and growing. The year 2020 became a milestone for us. Our customer acquisition rate is the highest in the history of NAKIVO. Our customers that started using NAKIVO in 2020 and earlier, among them we can see KPN, a Deutsche telecommunication company and ICT service provider that saves 1 hour every day after switching from backing up to tape to NAKIVO Backup and Replication. Save the Children Spain, a non-profit organization, saves cost on backup and simplifies disaster recovery with NAKIVO Backup and Replication. Lebensheil Weilburg, a non-profit organization from Germany that saves approximately 4 hours a week on backup management with NAKIVO Backup and Replication. And Framor, a mining machinery and equipment manufacturer, optimizes backup data storage and saves time on backup administration with NAKIVO Backup and Replication. Leading brands companies trust NAKIVO, Coca-Cola, DHL, Honda, Fujifilm, SpaceX, and more. Here's just a summary of why companies choose NAKIVO. First of all, NAKIVO Backup and Replication delivers reliable protection for virtual, physical, cloud, and software-as-a-service environments. The extensive set of disaster recovery features allows users to improve ATO and PRO by automating and orchestrating recovery workflows. Versatile deployments mean that NAKIVO Backup and Replication can be installed on NAS devices to create a powerful backup appliance and optimize the backup infrastructure. Our team keeps expanding the functionality of NAKIVO Backup and Replication. In 2020, we have rolled out 6 releases that included many features requested by our customers. NAKIVO Backup and Replication is designed to satisfy the needs of both SMBs and enterprises. And finally, NAKIVO is offering a flexible pricing and licensing model by fit any budget. China Airlines, a leading airline carrier in Asia Pacific, says that NAKIVO saves them up to 35% on the backup administration time with the ease of VM backup, replication, and recovery jobs management, and has reduced their VMware backup cost by 30%. Suwannee American Cement, the second largest cement supplier in Florida, USA, reduces backup administration time by 60% with NAKIVO Backup and Replication deployed on QNAP NAS. NAKIVO Backup and Replication is a fast, reliable, and affordable solution that delivers backup, replication, instant granular recovery, and disaster recovery from a single pane of glass. And now, let me give you a quick overview of deployment options for NAKIVO Backup and Replication. And as you already know enough about the solution, this will just be a quick reminder. If, however, you feel that some information that is relevant for you is missing, you are more than welcome to ask us anything. We'll move through this quickly, as most of you likely already know it, but if you are thinking of making changes to your infrastructure, NAKIVO Backup and Replication can be installed on a virtual appliance, physical machines, and NAS devices. It can be deployed as VMware or Nutanix virtual appliance, or even Amazon machine image. In addition, NAKIVO Backup and Replication can be integrated with QNAP, FreeNAS, Netgear, Asustor, Western Digital, and Synology devices. By installing NAKIVO Backup and Replication on a NAS device, you receive a NAS-based backup appliance where the backup software, hardware, storage, and data duplication tools can go as a single solution. With a backup appliance, you can double backup performance, reduce storage space requirements, and offload the production environment. We also wanted to make sure we cover backup to cloud briefly, as we have added several new supported destinations over the past year. You can now send backups directly to Amazon S3, Amazon AB3, Wasabi, and Azure. Once your backups are stored on the cloud, you can perform a full range of full, granular, and instant recovery to avoid lengthy disruptions. A lot of our fellow customers prefer cloud-based backup as it converts the fixed capital cost of storage devices into a scalable operational cost. Hello, Nick. You are welcome to tell more about NAKIVO feature set.
All right, thank you. So let us start. Now let's turn to the feature highlights of NAKIVO Backup and Replication, which is Microsoft 365. Okay, we'll move the window. So rolled out this year, Backup for Microsoft 365 gives you the tools to ensure that your Microsoft 365 data is safe and recoverable. With support of Exchange Online and OneDrive for Business and SharePoint Online, which is coming in the next version, Backup for Microsoft 365 gives you the tools to protect your cloud data. And you can back up Exchange Online mailboxes, OneDrive for business files, and then instantly recover individual emails, attachments, files, and folders. You can also search and browse through the backups to simplify the recovery and reduce recovery time objective. Now let's proceed to the new features added in our latest versions, which is 9.3, 9.4, 10, and 10.1 is also included. So with NAKIVO Backup and Replication 9.3, NAKIVO offers native integration with Oracle RMAN, built-in Oracle functionality, and you can save time on backup administration by managing backups and recovery operations with Oracle databases. All backup and recovery activities can be performed via web interface of NAKIVO Backup and Replication, and you don't need to run complex RMAN scripts anymore with this new feature. NAKIVO Backup and Replication with version 9.4 enables you using Amazon S3 as a destination for the backup data. You can send backups and backup copies of virtual machines, physicals, Oracle databases, Amazon instances directly to S3 cloud storage. And VMs can be booted directly from the compressed backups, which helps to improve the recovery times. And in addition, you can granularly restore as for VMs in a local environment. You can restore on a file level, on a folder level, and on the application object level as well. Another feature available with version 9.4 allows users to recover objects of Microsoft Exchange and Active Directory to any convenient location. And you can browse, also search, and recover individual objects directly from the compressed and deduplicated backups. And objects either can be restored to original location, or you can perform also full VM recovery. Another very and this allows you to customize permissions of other users based in the role in the company. And you can limit the actions available to users and eliminate the potential risks or threats. It is also possible to synchronize user management and access control by importing Active Directory users and groups. NAKIVO Backup and Replication now supports backing up to vSphere version 7, which is the latest version of the VMware platform. And another new feature allows sending backups and backup copies to Wasabi. And this is very affordable and flexible cloud storage service. And the same way as with S3, you can back up VMs and you can recover on file level directly from Wasabi, on object level, and you can do flash boot of VMs directly from Wasabi storage. You can perform image-based incremental backups of Linux Workstation now, and you can recover entire workstation and individual files and folders as well from the Linux Workstation backups. As you may know, we were supporting, well, it's already in the product that we support servers, but the new thing with the Linux, now you are ready to support workstations. Then P2V allows you to recover entire physical machines right from the backups to VMware VMs for testing purposes, or to migrate workloads to the production environment if physical server goes down. The functionality covers Windows and Linux-based servers and workstations, and we offer instant P2V recovery, which allows you to rapidly restore a file machine as a virtual machine, and full P2V recovery. This allows you to restore physical machine as VMware VM, and that is ready for Learn 10 or for the production environment. Then now let's focus on the latest release, which is 10.1. So the main highlights of 10.1 is OneDrive for business backups and the support of HP Store Bands Catalyst integration. We've already touched on OneDrive earlier, so we will focus on Catalyst integration here. You can integrate NAKIVO Backup Replication with Catalyst to send source-side duplicated backups to the StoreOne's appliances. And this helps you to reduce stress on your network and improve virtual machine backup performance. So now let's see what we have planned for the version 10.2, which will be soon announced in the beta version. So we have added SharePoint Online to backup for Microsoft Office 365. And this means, of course, that with NAKIVO, you can protect your Exchange Online now, OneDrive for business, and SharePoint data from the single solution. And tenant role-based access, this will be most relevant for those of you who are using multi-tenant setup. And this gives you the flexibility to assign parts of your data to the tenants. And the supported environment will include VMware, vSphere, Hyper-V, and physical workstations and servers. Now it's demo time. Let me quickly jump to my environment to show you some of the features we have added recently. And before showing that, I just want to ask you if you would require any special demo, feel free to contact us. And we will just arrange one-to-one demo, and so you'll have the chance to ask all the required questions related either to the new functionalities or to the ones that you have that we have already in the previous versions. All right, so let me start at first from the Office 365. As you may know, everything that you would like to back up, you need to add that to the inventory. So as a first step, if you would like to back up Office 365 account, of course, you need to go to the settings, then to the inventory, and then you need to add the Office 365 account. For this one, you would require to enter 3 IDs, which is Tenant ID, Azure Client ID, and Azure Client Secret. This can be found in the Azure portal. So you need to go to Azure Active Directory and find these credentials. If you need more details about how to find that one, so we have online help centers. You can quickly navigate from the product UI and just type 365 as an example, and add in Microsoft accounts. That's the manual how to do that. But for the purpose of this demo, let me just jump straight to the added account. And you can see that NAKIVO can discover mailboxes and OneDrives. As I've mentioned before, SharePoint will be available pretty soon as well. So once we've added that account, then the second step would be to create a backup repository. And so once you hit Add Backup Repository, Create New Backup Repository, you have the options. And the specific options you need to use for Office 365, that would be this one. As you see, it says storing Microsoft 365 objects. So this is the special backup repository designed only for Office 365 objects. Once you proceed to the next step, all you need to do is to provide the name, select the assigned transporter. So this transporter can be local one. You don't require to run this transporter in Azure Cloud. And the path to the folder, that would be a simple path on the transporter machine, or this machine can be either virtual or physical one, but make sure to install local transporter and provide the path. Then you click on next, and then there will be some simple options, and you will get this Office 365 backup repository created. My example, I have already created Office 365 on this location. So let me close this one. So once we've added the inventory, once we've added the backup repository, we are ready to proceed with the backup job for Office 365. Let me back up my account. both Microsoft OneDrive for Business and Exchange Online. So I've created the backup job. Let me find Nick here. So you see the mailboxes, you see the OneDrive account. We'll proceed to the next step, which is destination. By default, it just asks us to put the data into the available backup repository for Office 365. But if you have a couple of Office 365 type repositories, of course, you have the choice where to use those ones. The next step would be the scheduler. As usual, with NAKIVO Backup and Replication, you can use multiple schedules and you can utilize the calendar view just to avoid job overlaps. The next step, the retention policy, and for Office 365 backups, you can also keep up to 4,000 recovery points, and you can use GFS backup rotation. So you can keep the backups for years, for months. In my example, if I check this mark, keep 1 recovery point per month for 12 months, so the very last backup of this month will be stored for me for 12 months. And the same is related for next month and so on. Then the options, which are quite simple, you can run pre and post job scripts if necessary, and you can limit the transporter load. So transporter load, this limit indicates that you can back up 3 users at the same time while this job is running. So if you would like to limit this one on per job level, this is available. So quite straightforward, where we select what to back up, where to back up, then the frequency of the backups, then retention, and then the options. That's it. You can click on Finish and back up your Microsoft 365 data to the on-prem backup repository. So what about recovery? You can recover, of course, on an object level. So I click on Recover. This is my job. I have completed it a couple of days ago and just recently. So I will recover some items from Microsoft 365. So first step, you choose the recovery point. Let's select the latest one. Then recovery account. In my case, I have only 1 recovery account, so I will click the next step. Now NAKIVO will need to retrieve the objects from the backup repository. So before I do recovery, let me show you my account. Let's well, this is my Office, and there is some email like from VMAC. So we can potentially remove this one and perform the recovery of that email. Right, this is the VMAC email, which was first in our line. So now you have the options how to recover. So recovery type to original location or recover to another mailbox. Of course, I would like to recover the original one, and then there is overwriting behavior. So how to behave in case the items exist already. So we either rename, we skip, or we overwrite. For us, doesn't matter. Actually, let's select overwrite. So if that email exists, we will overwrite it. So the job will appear immediately in activities, and it must be completed already. So let's see if, yeah, as you see, it's back. So this email is back, and it was successfully recovered. If we had this email, of course, and if we do the recovery, and then NAKIVO will add the recovered name to this subject. All right, so this was the simple recovery procedure. The same way you can recover OneDrive items, and that's OneDrive can be recovered on a folder level and on a file level. Now let me proceed to the next interesting feature, which is backing up Linux workstations. So again, in order to add Linux workstation to your environment, you need to go to inventory and provide the IP address of that workstation. So you click on physical machine, you click on Linux. If you have the range of IPs, you can use dash or you can use comma. But make sure that the port is open, and then once you add the Linux host, as in this example, you will have the discovered virtual machine, physical machine, sorry. Then you are ready to do the backup of that physical. So how to do that? You go to the Create Physical Machine Backup job. Where you select, again, what to backup. Destination can be any repository which is suitable for either VMs or physical machines. So we'll select a local one. By the way, you can skip the disks if required under this extra settings. Then the scheduler will be skipped. Retention policy will be the same one. And under options, what you can do, you can run application aware mode to enable consistency of the Linux backups. Then you can use change tracking to detect the change blocks. And network acceleration and encryption can be used in case you transfer the data offsite or to some S3 Wasabi cloud. Then I'm backing up to the repository which is incremental with full. So I have an extra settings asking me when I would like to create full backups. And then you have the option to generate reports, run pre and post job scripts, and you can enable bandwidth throttling. So we'll finish this job and let us go to the recovery. So how we can recover. Physical machine, the same one, I believe, yeah, Linux. So what you can do, you can recover on file level, well, on object level, and that's more applicable for Windows, of course. Then you can use universal object recovery to instantly map the disk from the backup to any target. Then you can export the backup to VMDK or VHD format. Then you can perform full virtual machine recovery. And there are two types of those. So you can use flash boot for instant recovery, and you can use production recovery, which is VM recovery from the backup this way. And let me also jump to my favorite feature, which is users and roles. NAKIVO gives you the possibility to create either local users, or you can configure Active Directory integration, and then once integrated, you can assign to the Active Directory users the local roles you created before. So you have the users view at this stage, and you can see all available users with this UI, but let me jump first to the roles. So you have pre-created roles already, and you can clone those roles, or you can add a new role from the script. So let me just select some role like a recovery operator. Let's see what this role can do. All right, so it has full access to calendar, to activities, to global search. For configuration, there are some restrictions. So no access to general configuration, no access to rules and credentials, no access to inventory, to transporters. So basically, recovery operator can only view some configuration, but it cannot do backup jobs, cannot do replication. Any type of jobs are on view only. But recovery job must be full access. Let me see, backup copy, replication view only. You see, recovery full access. So this role can perform only the recovery procedures in the environment. So let us create the user and assign the role to this backup to recovery operator, right? Add new role. Add new user. Add new user. That would be local user. That would be recovery operator. Number 2. Then we will assign the recovery operator role to this one and click on add. Let's see the users. recovery operator is created. Let me copy this URL just to test. Recovery operator number 2. I didn't create the password though. Sorry. Okay, let us create the password for this user. Yeah, it works all well. So the recovery operator cannot create the jobs at all. And let's see settings. And very restricted settings. But the recovery operator can perform recovery of application objects, files, and full VM recovery. As you see, I have this possibility. So this is how the role-based access works. This is very convenient, I would say, especially for multi-tenant users, but for single-tenant users, that's also nice to have feature if you have a big IT organization in a company, so you can grant any type of access to your colleagues, so you can be sure that your environment is secure. And let's say, in our case, as an administrator, I can do backup replication jobs, I can do configurations, but I can delegate some procedures to perform the recovery. If, let's say, someone from financial department needs an urgent recovery, I can delegate this to my colleagues so they can do recovery of the objects or files. Okay, I see we have so many questions. Thanks a lot for this one. So let me just review some, and I will pass the word to Alona back, and then we will be back answering your questions. If you have any questions, please continue posting those.
Thank you, Nick. So now let's proceed to upgrades and pricing. We offer a range of editions designed to deliver added functionality and more powerful data protection. Each edition upgrade offers more features than those listed here, but we will just highlight some of them. If you would like to get the complete details or schedule a short demo, please contact your IB manager or go to nakivo.com. So, if you're using Basic Edition, upgrading to Pro or Pro Essentials unlocks every full, granular, and instant recovery type and allows you to gain access to VM replication and backup copy. Upgrading to Enterprise or Enterprise Essentials to Pro Edition gives you the option to store backups on the cloud with Amazon S3 or Wasabi, as well as provide you with the host of advanced administration and replication tools. Lastly, upgrading to Enterprise Plus gives you every feature in NAKIVO Backup and Replication, including Oracle database backup via RMAN. If you are interested in any of the features offered in a high edition, you are simply able to try them for free with a 15-day full-featured free trial. It unlocks every feature and doesn't have any capacity restriction, so you can simply see how the features work in your infrastructure. If you're interested in upgrading, you can simply contact your IB manager and they can put together a quote for you and conduct a short demo to briefly show you the main differences and advantages. You are free to upgrade from any edition to any higher edition. If you are interested, we would also like to draw your attention to the benefits of a support upgrade to 24/7. With 24/7 support, you can access our technician expert via phone and chat every day of the year at any time. Our experts are always ready to help you to solve any problems of any complexity. As a reminder, 24/7 support is automatically included with the subscription licensing model. If you are interested in purchasing a support upgrade, contact your IB manager to get needed help and assistance if you have any questions. And now to wrap up, we would like to quickly remind you of the benefits of renewing your NAKIVO Backup and Replication Support Plan. Now you can only ensure uninterrupted protection and guarantee continuing access to our technician support. You will also be able to leverage the latest updates and versions, and also lock in your support at an affordable price. So Nick, now it is your turn to answer all questions.
All right, thank you. So let me start. Well, before I start, I just want to tell you that I will try to answer most of the questions, but if your questions were not answered, we will get back to you via email, or, well, you can send us anytime this question again, if it was lost, let's say, to sales@nakivo.com, so we can cover those. Let me start. Which version permit to backup to Amazon? I believe the meaning of this question is Amazon S3, right? So let me jump to the pricing, and that would be, I believe this will be enterprise version of NAKIVO Backup and Replication. So with this one, you can use Enterprise or Enterprise Essentials to backup to S3. Backup to S3, right? This is available with Enterprise or Enterprise Essentials. So if you need those details, you have pricing page, and on the pricing page you can find this information. So thank you for the question, Dino. Then, all right. Is there a specific license needed to back up a physical machine? Can this backup approach also be used for backing up of VMs in Azure into local repository? Right, so you don't need a special license. I mean, it depends. Well, if you would like to back a physical machine, a part of your current license, please send an email to sales team, or we will contact you from our side and just provide the number of VMs you need, and we will provide you with the quotation if you need extra VMs. But if you would like to back up Azure VMs, right, you can use physical approach. So you can discover the Azure VM as it was physical and back it up as physical, since we don't support yet the native integration with Azure Cloud. So thanks for the question. We have Piotr asking to show the Oracle backup and restore. So Piotr, due to lack of time, let's schedule a one-to-one meeting, and we will be able to show it. Another question, do we support Teams? Teams in our roadmap. So we are adding SharePoint, and now we are extending the Office 365. Good question, thank you. Can you set up the repository for Office 365 as a subfolder of a virtual machine repository? Yes, that's possible. Doesn't matter where a repository is. Well, actually it matters. It needs to be either a repository on a virtual machine or a physical machine. But in terms of subfolder or not subfolder, that's possible. So that would be two separate repositories, but physically the Office 365 repository will be located on a subfolder. All right. Admin can see the email of everyone. The question of Luca. Yeah, admin is master administrator. It can see everything in the environment, of course. All right, let me scroll through other questions. Wasabi only for enterprise. The question is for Wasabi. Yes, it is also for enterprise the same way as for Amazon S3. can I have a copy of the new demo? So I assume Mahmoud is asking if he can download the trial, as I understand. So trial can be always downloaded, and I mean the new version can be downloaded. If you have existing version, just install a second instance of NAKIVO as a trial. If you want to try new features, let's say Amazon or Wasabi, and discover your environment, the same environment, and do the backups. Can we make a recovery of physical machine to a physical machine? P2V recovery is in our roadmap. At this stage, you can recover P2V, so you can convert physicals to virtual. What are the needs to backup on Wasabi or Amazon S3? You need to have an account, first of all. Then you need to discover that account with NAKIVO Backup and Replication. By the way, I did not show that, but let me just quickly jump to the UI. So all you need to do is to create a repository. Well, first of all, you need to add the account into the inventory. So you need to click, oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm not showing my screen. Yeah. You go to inventory, you click on add new, and then you add Amazon or Wasabi account if you would like to integrate with S3 and Wasabi. Once added, you need to go to repositories and add new backup repository and indicate either Amazon EC2 or well, either S3 or Wasabi. And then you need to assign, as usual, a transporter. So this assigned transporter does not need to be on Amazon EC2 or on Wasabi. So this can be local transporter. That's all you need. Basically, account, and then discover account to the inventory, and then create repository, and then do the backups to S3 or to Amazon. What happens after the 15-day trial expires? It is converted to free version, I believe. But if you need an extension, we can extend it. Or you can upload your current license to the 15 days trial. Yeah, again, the question about physical recovery. So with physical, you can recover, if you have done the backup of the physical machine, you can recover on a file level, on an object level. You can recover a full virtual machine to the VMware environment. You can export the disks into VMDK or VHD formats, so then you can reuse that disks while creating new machines either on Hyper-V or VMware. Recovery to physical is not yet supported. We have included that into the roadmap. The question about, many questions I see about Docker. Docker is also in our roadmap. At this stage, we don't support Docker, but this is very interesting for us, and we have included that one into the our roadmap for sure. The question about have you have a plan to add image backup of personal physical computer workstations? So workstations are supported at this stage, but those workstations are limited. I mean, in terms of operating systems. So in order to find which workstations we support online, open the Help Center and navigate to System Requirements. System Requirements, I would say this is the most referred page of NAKIVO knowledge base. System Requirements. And over here you can find the list of operating systems we support in terms of physical backups and workstations. I mean servers and workstations. You go to Support Platforms and then Physical Backup. Physical Machine Requirements. It says To provide that data protection for physical machines, these are the requirements. And you see the Linux requirements as well. So please navigate to this page and find the information. S3 compatible providers. The question is, yeah, we are also extending to this one. We have extended to, let's say, Wasabi recently, and we are planning to extend to other S3 compatible providers as well. What I can say with our newer version, also, I believe it's either 10.2 or 10.3. So we are adding the S3 compatibility, Amazon S3 in terms of write only once, read multiple times mode. So this would protect you from ransomware. You can use this S3 feature to enable ransomware protected backups. Is there a way to back up a physical machine with the transporter installed? Or do I have to put it in a VM or on the same machine? Yeah, you can back up physical machine with the transporter. As far as I know, we don't have any restrictions with that one. Is NAKIVO support CBT? Yeah, NAKIVO is supporting CBT for a long time already. The thing is that when you back up physical machines, there is no CBT with physical. That's why NAKIVO have created the proprietary technology, which is kind of similar to CBT, but we cannot use VMware CBT with physical, of course. That's why you have to select proprietary. All right, so I think first of all, thank you very much for those multiple questions. There were some questions that were similar. There were some questions that are more related to support things. So we will go through all your questions and we'll try to find the answers and get back to you via email. Then, as I've said before, if you need a dedicated demo, I saw, by the way, some person has already posted his email asking for dedicated demo. So thank you for that one. If you have not posted that in the question chat, just drop us an email if you would like to have a demo. And if you have specific questions, please prepare those and send it to us so we will be able to answer those. All right, Alona, at this stage, that's it. I'm very pleased with the questions. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Nick. So on here is, as I mentioned previously, you will receive an email with a short survey soon after the webinar. We'll be happy to know all your questions. It will help us to get better. Thank you everyone for joining our webinar and for your attention. We are happy that you have joined the webinar. At this moment, we're wishing you a good day and bye-bye.